For thousands of years, night wasn't dark by choice, it was dark by necessity. Fire was expensive, dangerous, and rare. Then someone learned to trap flame inside wax, and human nightlife was never the same again. Before candles existed, humans relied almost entirely on open fires and crude oil lamps to push back the darkness after sunset. These early lamps, dating back tens of thousands of years, typically consisted of hollowed stones or shells filled with animal fat and a simple fiber wick. They worked, but poorly, smoky, dim, and requiring constant attention. Night remained something to be endured, not lived through, for most of early human history. The earliest true candles emerged independently in several ancient civilizations. Egyptian and Cretan archaeological sites show evidence of primitive candle-like objects dating back to around 3000 BCE, using rushlights, reed soaked repeatedly in melted animal fat. Ancient Rome refined this further, developing candles made from tallow, rendered animal fat, with a fibrous wick, becoming one of the first civilizations to produce candles specifically designed for indoor household lighting rather than religious ceremony alone. Tallow candles had a serious problem: they smelled terrible. Rendered animal fat, when burned, produced thick smoke and a distinctly unpleasant odor that filled entire rooms, especially in poorly ventilated medieval homes. Despite this, tallow remained the dominant candle material for over 1,000 years simply because animal fat was cheap and widely available to ordinary people across Europe, while cleaner alternatives stayed far out of reach. Beeswax offered a dramatically superior alternative, burning cleaner, brighter, and without tallow's foul smell. But beeswax candles came at an enormous cost, since producing beeswax required extensive beekeeping infrastructure that most households simply couldn't maintain. Throughout medieval Europe, beeswax candles became almost exclusively associated with churches, royalty, and the extremely wealthy, while ordinary families continued suffering through smoky, smelly tallow candles for centuries. Candles carried religious weight beyond simple lighting throughout the medieval period. The Catholic Church consumed enormous quantities of beeswax candles for religious ceremonies, viewing pure white beeswax as symbolically representing purity, unlike animal-derived tallow. Some medieval guilds and monasteries maintained strict control over local candle production and sales, turning candlemaking into both a religious and economic institution throughout much of Europe. A significant improvement arrived in the 1700s, when whalers discovered that spermaceti, a waxy substance found in the head cavities of sperm whales, produced remarkably bright, smokeless, long-lasting candles far superior to tallow. Spermaceti candles quickly became the premium lighting choice among wealthy households throughout the 1700s and 1800s, fueling a massive commercial whaling industry that hunted sperm whales specifically for this valuable substance. This demand had devastating ecological consequences. Commercial whaling expanded dramatically throughout the 1800s, driven substantially by demand for spermaceti candles and whale oil lamps, pushing several whale populations towards serious decline. Some historians argue that candle and lamp demand directly contributed to the near collapse of certain whale species long before modern conservation concerns ever entered public consciousness. Relief for both whales and consumers arrived through unexpected chemistry. In 1850, chemists developed paraffin wax, derived from petroleum, producing candles that burned cleanly, brightly, and, crucially, far more cheaply than beeswax or spermaceti ever could. Paraffin candles rapidly became the dominant candle type worldwide, finally making quality, affordable lighting genuinely accessible to ordinary households rather than remaining a luxury reserved for the wealthy or the church. Just as paraffin candles finally democratized quality lighting, an entirely new technology threatened to make candles obsolete altogether. Thomas Edison's practical incandescent light bulb, developed and commercialized throughout the 1880s, offered brighter, safer, more convenient lighting than any candle ever could. Within a few decades, candles transformed from humanity's primary nighttime lighting source into something closer to a decorative or ceremonial accessory, a role they largely occupy today. From smoky animal fat rushlights, to church-controlled beeswax reserved for the wealthy, to a whaling industry that hunted entire species for a single candle ingredient, to Edison's light bulb that finally ended the candle's ancient reign, humanity's relationship with artificial light took thousands of years, an enormous cost, to develop. The next time you light a candle purely for atmosphere, remember, this same small flame once determined whether human civilization functioned after sunset at all.